Good morning. It is way too early for me. And we're back again with the way too early live stream of the year. This only happens once. Oh, thank God. I don't know where you guys are in the world, but for me, this is way too early. I am not used to being awake, let alone live streaming at this time. But it's tradition. It's Apple iPhone pre-order season. Apple says we love that early energy. See, look how terrible the reflections are on this. I need that new anti-reflective coating, but it's just tradition because all the Apple sheep tend to kind of wake up at the same time to get ready to pre-order and then eventually pre-order, and there's this like mass panic that we all go through simultaneously. It's kind of like that line up in front of the Apple Store energy. So good to see you guys. I'm in the car. I'm sure people are confused by that. Simply because I live in a relatively small house and my wife is sleeping and I didn't feel like keeping her up. So I go in the car because it's disconnected from the house and it's sealed off so no one can really hear me be loud and talk like I normally do during live streams. So just means that the neighborhood stays quieter. Also, I get to be warmer because obviously it's kind of hard to live stream under the covers, but in the car I can run the heat and my heated seat is turned on, so that keeps me warm. And yeah, good for everybody to check in. Thanks for that. I had such a hard time choosing between orange and blue, but I ultimately chose a blue Pro Max. I do think the deep blue is the closest we have to black. I know it's definitely not the same as the matte black, but what will I be getting? Oh yeah, I guess I haven't talked about that yet. Um, Basically, I think the most interesting phone in the lineup to review, you know, like I talked about in my video yesterday, the regular iPhone 17, I think, is hands down, no debate, the best value of the entire lineup. I know it doesn't necessarily have the best specs, but overall, just for what you get, the base 256 gig storage, the 120 hertz refresh rate, the always on display, the updated front facing camera and rear facing camera, just for the money, the iPhone 17 is just impossible to beat. So that's the best value. However, everything about that phone, I feel like I already have in some capacity. I guess not the new center stage camera. That's new to me. But I already have a ProMotion display. I already have a 48 megapixel ultra wide. So I don't honestly feel like I need to buy the regular iPhone 17 to tell you that it's great. Like, I can just tell you from experience using phones that have all the same specs as that phone, it's a great phone. So I don't really see the point in pre-ordering the regular iPhone 17 and reviewing it because I will probably reach the exact same conclusion that I've already reached. I don't think there will be any surprises there. Um, Oh, and thank you, Ethan Dabish, for 28 months of support. Good morning! And also, big thank you to Connor Dunaway, just hit 3 years of supporting Tailosive Tech, so thank you so much. He said, in your view, will all iPads get 120 hertz and 256 gigs? It's more likely now that they've actually brought it down, but maybe not necessarily within the next year. For some reason, Apple likes to drag their feet. Especially, it's hard to imagine the budget iPad getting 120 hertz. I'm sure the Air could get it. That wouldn't surprise me. It would be even cool to see an iPad mini get 120 hertz, but the basic, like $300 iPad, I don't know. So yeah, to answer Margel Rambles, the iPhone Air is kind of the new one on the block. I don't think it's necessarily the phone catered to me. I do use my camera for work quite frequently. So I don't think I want to compromise on the camera that much or even the battery life or the speakers, but I do think a lot of there's a lot to say and there's a lot of perspective that can be added with the iPhone Air ownership just because it's so different from what we've had before. I'm very curious if, like, after holding it, I feel differently about it, or maybe the battery life is as good as Apple claims, and maybe I try it out and go, you know what, the battery's actually pretty good on this thing. So I feel like there's just a lot more to say, whereas it's a similar story with the Pros. It's just like, yeah, you know what you're getting. It's a better camera. It's a big battery. I just think it's like, if you've got the money and you don't mind the new chonkness of the Pros, yeah, it's a great phone. So the Air is what I'm planning on pre-ordering. Um, Somalia, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thanks for the super chat. I'm enjoying your pre-order stream and buying iPhones with you since the iPhone 12 in 2020, getting the 17 Pro in silver this year. Good call. If I were to get a 17 Pro, I'd probably go silver too. That's just been my consistent pre-order every year. Um, Max says orange will not age well. I don't know. I'm just glad that the pros are using aluminum again so we can have vibrant colors like that. But I've seen a lot of concept art of product red 17 Pros, and oh my god, that looks so good. Honestly, I would be super tempted to go with a Pro just to get that color, because there's never been a very saturated or especially deep red Pro iPhone since, well, I guess not labeled Pro, but the iPhone 7 back when that came out had a product red variant, but it had white bezels, which was kind of a deal breaker for me. And then they did a product red iPhone 8, but then the iPhone 10 was out, so the 10 was kind of the notch above, no pun intended. um, let's see, where am I in my car? Just to keep my wife peacefully resting inside, because I'm kind of loud when I live stream, and we don't live in a huge house, so uh, noise isolation wise, this is the best to not disturb the peace. Orange, you glad they aren't pink? Beautiful. Hey, orange is the new black, apparently, right? Sorry. That wasn't my joke. I stole it from YJ Choi. Do you think they'll ever go back with Alpine green? Oh, yeah. I feel like every year they mess around with some kind of green. Yeah, finally a color for the pros that's not boring, exactly. The iPod Nano, yes, the product red one was fantastic, absolutely. Um, let's see. The orange sucks. I know a lot of people that actually love it, so I guess that's the point, is to divide people. Happy pre-order day. This is becoming a tradition to watch your streams. Oh, good. Oh, I hope it makes it a little more enjoyable. Um, yeah, I personally don't really plan on upgrading. I'm really just thinking of what iPhone would make for the most interesting content for you guys, and I think that's the Air, but I don't know. That I'm debating now. Like there's aspects that I'm learning about the new iPhone lineup that's making me kind of curious. If I were to upgrade, it would for sure be a 17 Pro Max, and it would probably be silver. Um, but my 16 Pro Max is fine. It's still holding up great, although my battery health has started dipping. Not that that's a reason, but Moon River, thank you for 40 months of support. Morning, Drew. Going to be getting a 17 in March. Oh, interesting. Wait till March, huh? Um, you could probably get there faster if you canceled your Tailosive Tech Plus membership. I'm not ashamed to suggest that. Some YouTubers think that's against the rules or something, but I'm totally fine with that. Feel free to cancel your membership. It's probably not worth it. If it means you get your iPhone 17 sooner, you should do that. Do I prefer to order through carrier or Apple? I've only pre-ordered through the carriers once, and it went horribly wrong. That was back in 2017 with the iPhone 10, and I had so many failures, and it didn't process, it didn't go through. So I don't recommend going through carriers, but it's probably gotten much better since the time I did it. So I tend to always go through Apple, just the Apple Store app. I tend to get unlocked iPhones, so that's just what makes the most sense for me. But 20 minutes, guys. We got 20 minutes, so get yourselves ready, get a cup of coffee, wake yourself up for the rush, and then immediately go back to bed once you get that confirmation email. Joe Ritter, thank you for joining, says, which color are you choosing? I'm having a hard time between blue and silver. Orange looks great on camera, but to live with it, I don't really know. I personally prefer silver just because I'm always concerned about thermals, and apparently YouTubers have tested this and discovered that the white iPhones tend to dissipate heat better than the darker colored phones. So ever since I saw that, it kind of took away all of the preference for me and just made me go, well, white is the most functional color because it will overheat the least. I don't know if it matters now with the vapor chambers and the aluminum enclosure and all that, but also I just think it's a bit more timeless. A lot of these colors are really cool when they're brand new and they're like the only time an iPhone has been that color, like the new Cosmic Orange. But then, kind of like what Mac was getting at, after a while, you get used to it. It's been around for a while, and then Apple discontinues it in a year, and it's like, oh my God, what is this bright orange phone? Why did I get this one? And then you want a case or a skin or whatever. Um, so I tend to think that the silver ones are a bit more timeless and neutral. I haven't noticed if the silver ones have like a better resale value, but if you do plan on reselling the phone in the future, sometimes certain colors are worth more than others. It's weird, but it's kind of unpredictable. Some people want the unique original color and some people don't. So yeah, I don't. I try to. I'm trying to bring some kind of objectivity to it because personal preference is hard to argue about. But I guess I'm more of a silver guy. Even if they had a matte black option, I probably wouldn't have got it. So I did save, a preset of the iPhone Air, um, and I believe it's the base model, but I went with the cloud white. I think just because I think that looks the cleanest. But that's just me. I don't think there's a correct choice. uh, Elpa Dre Davi, thank you for the super chat. Even with pre-order day, I'm still gonna line up day one. Well, you can still do that with your pre-order QR code, and they tend to set you up pretty easily. But Beard, thank you for the super chat. Do you know what you missed? Do you know this pre-order is special to me? Guess what you missed? The other 17 reference, 2017. My last pre-order was in 2017. Wow, that's a way back. That's 8 years now. Jeez. Is it worth grabbing my Mac in case the app won't refresh? If it's not too much of an inconvenience to you, but usually the app is pretty good. In my experience, if you're asking me, because I know some of you haven't pre-ordered for a while, I've pre-ordered every year since 2017, and I think, did I pre-order in 2016? I think I did. I've been doing this for a while, and I can confirm vast majority of the time, if you're pre-ordering right away and you're already awake like I am, and you're going to be refreshing the app right at the top of the hour in about 18 minutes and checking the app, most of the time that works perfectly fine. Typically, the servers don't start crashing until maybe 10 or 15 minutes after 5 a.m. or 8 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. So if you're already up and you're already typing in the chat, I think if you're pre-ordering from Apple, you'll probably be fine. Occasionally people have issues, but the vast majority of the time, I think the app is pretty reliable compared to the website. Honestly, I can recall in the past the website being more unreliable than the app, but I don't know. There have been some of those weird occasional years where, keep in mind, it goes live at different times for different people. So sometimes one part of the country, the app will be up before a different part of the country. And a lot of people pre-order from their carriers every year, and sometimes they pre-order quite a bit earlier through their carriers. And sometimes that works great for them, and then for others it doesn't work great. But JJ says, do you agree that the iPhone 17 base model is just an epic buy as it's pretty much updated? Little improved version of 16 Pro where besides other things is it also becomes lighter. Yeah, the base 17 is very hard to argue with. That was basically the consensus of yesterday's video, which was, usually, you guys been watching my channel for a while, you know that typically when a new iPhone comes out, I'm like, yeah, it has some cool things, but last year's model's not that different, and it's way cheaper in the used market. And this year, that argument doesn't hold up all that well because of the new N1 chip, because of the new center stage camera, because of the bigger battery life, the doubled storage, the higher refresh rate, the bigger display. Just across the board, they upgraded so many things. Maybe it's because we've been conditioned over the past few years. We've had so many years where Apple changes very little, where all they add is camera control or Apple Intelligence, and you're like, well, that's not really a worthy upgrade. I wouldn't upgrade the phone just for that. So you're like, yeah, iPhone 16 has got some nice colors, but the 15 is honestly still a great phone. Just get a 15. That argument didn't hold up as well this year because they added so much to the regular 17. So yes, I do concur that for pretty much everybody, the regular iPhone 17 is the correct choice. The only people who shouldn't get the regular iPhone 17 are people who can afford to spend a lot more money on things that aren't that important, but they're a techie nerd and they care about those little details. Like, I know people that are like, I'm upping for the Pro because I want a telephoto lens. And I'm like, okay, but that you realize that's $300 more for basically one lens. And keep in mind, the base iPhone 17 has a 48 megapixel main lens, and that crops in and preserves quite a bit of quality at 2x. So you're saying, no, 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 2x is not enough for me. I need 4x and 8x, and I really need good zoom. But practically everything else about that 17 Pro is in the base iPhone 17 for $300 cheaper. So I think there's a better argument to be made if you're just like, well, I need the biggest battery life possible. Okay, then you need a Pro Max. Or I need 2 terabytes, like Passport Bros or Big Truck Review Motorsports, whatever your name is. If you need 2 terabytes or you need a giant screen and 6.3 inches doesn't cut it for you and you need a 6.9 inch phone, okay, there's some arguments to get the Pro Max. I could see that. But there's so much feature parity between the regular 17 and the 17 Pro, and there's not a very close price. So this is one of those years where the base model has become an incredibly good value that it's kind of difficult to justify the Pro. My friend Michael Burkhart compared it to the iPhone 12 year. It's kind of similar. Geez, it sounds like yesterday, but I guess that was 2020. That was 5 years ago. Holy crap. So 5 years ago, we had the regular iPhone 12, which got the OLED display, which had the dual camera and everything. And compared to the 12 Pro, there was not a lot of differences between the two. Basically, the 12 Pro had a telephoto lens for $200 more, and the regular 12 had almost the exact same specs across the board. It had the same chip, it had the same display, it had the same port, had the same battery life. I think it actually had slightly better battery life in tests. So it was just like, why get a 12 Pro when for $200 less you could get a 12 that basically has almost the exact same features? It's kind of a repeat of that year for me now, where the regular 17 has almost identical feature parity with the 17 Pro. And it's a $300 difference, not $200. So let's see. Hey, Mike is in the chat. I need more sleep. Me too. This is not healthy for me at all. I've not been sleeping well already, and this is bad. I really don't know if going from a 14 Pro Max to a regular Pro is going to be okay. A regular Pro? I think that's still a big upgrade. That's 3 years between the two. It'll be the same weight, but you'll get a bigger display. You'll get a way better camera, way better battery life, especially factoring in degradation. I'm sure your 14 Pro is not at 100% battery health. What do I think about the iPhone Air? It's growing on me, I'll confess. Oh, sorry. Dane Gonzalez, thank you for the super chat. I think this is my first day one iPhone pre-order ever. My 13 mini died a month ago and went to my backup iPhone 10. I'll be upgrading to a green 17. Ooh, good choice. Finally, a reasonablest in this chat. Looking at the poll, it seems like way too many people are getting the Pro Max. iPhone Air is pretty low on the list. Surprisingly, despite everybody agreeing, it seems, I haven't seen much pushback on this. Everybody is saying the regular iPhone 17 is great and the one to get, and everybody should get the regular 17. And then every time I run a poll, maybe this is biased because of our techie audience, iPhone 17 is dead last. It's always the last thing on the pre-order list. Right now, we've had 750 people vote. Only 15% are pre-ordering the iPhone 17. 16% are getting the iPhone Air, so that's not a good look for how Apple is going to sell in regards to the new form factor on the block that hasn't been around before. So almost 50% today are pre-ordering the Pro Max. Jeez. Okay, you guys are giving me a little FOMO. Maybe I should get a Pro Max. I don't know. I probably should have ran more polls about this. I should not be deciding this in the last 10 minutes. Is the app up yet? We've got 10 minutes. People are saying the T-Mobile page is live. Okay, it's not live for me yet, but I'm not on T-Mobile. I don't know. I feel weird. Like, I thought the iPhone Air would be the more interesting one to review, but now seeing the poll, we're at over 830 votes. Thank you for voting, everybody. Only 16% are getting the iPhone Air. That's not a lot. That's less than a fifth. Under 1/5 of you are getting the Air. I'm second guessing myself now. Divot says you should get a Pro Max. Cosmic Wicker says always get Pro Max. Pro Max is king since Robert Dudley. You only have one life. Just YOLO. I don't know. Oh, get both, says YJ Choi. Oh my god, this is going to be stressful. I'm getting stressed out now. Pro Max and orange. You're going to have to change your mind. The Pro Max is too dang big. You know, I've had a case on my 16 Pro Max basically since launch. I've not gone the caseless route like I used to. And it makes my phone pretty thick and tall anyway. I'm pretty sure a 17 Pro Max is going to be just about this thick. Get both. Oh, that's crazy. You know how much money that's going to be on my Apple Card? Holy crap. Get the Air. It will be the most interesting to review. Okay, so Nurse Justin is telling me, stand your ground, Drew. Stick with the plan. The battery on the Pro Max is going to be insane. That's for sure. Definitely the longest battery life in an iPhone. Possibly in a phone. Well, I guess probably not the Energizer phone or the Doogie phone with the ginormous battery pack, but that would be cool. I'm definitely not getting the MagSafe battery, though. I've agreed on that. That's a stupid accessory. I want to know the battery on the iPhone Air on its own. I think if you believe that you need the MagSafe battery, you're buying the wrong phone. Because that instantly turns an already pretty expensive phone. There's things about the iPhone Air that are starting to appeal to me. Like, I'm thinking about, how often do I really need the ultra-wide lens or the telephoto lens? Maybe I don't use it as much as I think. And, I have chargers around. Maybe I don't need that all-day battery. Well, I guess the Air has all-day battery, right? I'm planning on just reviewing, but the only thing that could potentially sway me on upgrading is I'm reading about this N1 chip and the new Bluetooth connectivity and the new Wi-Fi, and I do airdrop a lot of large video files. So if there's like a substantial upgrade that I notice with moving video files to my Mac, and that speeds up the process. Also, there's some camera upgrades that I'm curious to try out. So I'm not planning on upgrading, but I've been wrong before. I've changed my mind before. So we'll see how it goes. What color am I getting? I'll get silver on it, whichever one I get. Yeah, don't get the MagSafe battery pack because it's $100. It doesn't boost the battery life that much. It's only a 65% increase on the iPhone Air. AT&T is live, I guess, so the carriers are going live. The Air is great, but the Pro Max is amazing, especially if you create content with your phone. I do. I'm kind of curious about the vapor chamber. Not as much recently, but I have had my iPhone overheat on me. So that is a potential useful feature. I'm not sure. Yeah, all the iPhone 17s get the N1 chip. That was a weird thing about the announcement, is they only announced the N1 chip with the iPhone Air, and then they didn't really talk much about the iPhone 17s getting the N1 chip, but apparently after the fact, people looked into the tech specs and it was there. So if you're on AT&T, I guess the site is up. People are saying they're pre-ordering on AT&T. Apple's own app is not up yet, though. So I will keep refreshing, but we technically have 7 minutes, so it's not late or anything. So the N1 chip is a Apple-designed Bluetooth and Wi-Fi chip, so it's like designed in-house like Apple Silicon, and they're claiming that it's going to improve thermals and efficiency and performance for doing personal hotspot and for doing AirDrop. And those two things I do actually quite regularly. I hotspot off my phone when I'm working on the go a lot, or my wife is needing a connection on her phone for something. And I also use AirDrop like every day, all the time, especially with large video files. I don't transfer footage to my MacBook via a wire just because it's too complicated, and Apple should really streamline that process, to be honest, especially because this is such a high-speed USB-C port. They could accelerate that a lot quicker than they have. I've tried doing the import through the cable, and every solution Apple has is terrible. I wish it would just treat my iPhone like an external SSD, and I can just drag the file over. That would be so much easier. But thank you, Divot, for joining Tailosive Tech Plus. That's great. Appreciate it. I need that 2 terabyte. I don't think I would get 2 terabytes. $2,000 is kind of a lot. Kevin, the software tester, has been a member for 46 months. Holy cow, almost 4 years. 17 for mom as a retirement gift and Pro Max for me. Oh, that's nice of you. Very generous. When does the embargo drop for the tech reviewers? Probably sometime next week. So you might get reviews for AirPods Pro 3 around Tuesday, and then maybe you'll get iPhone reviews on Wednesday, and then Apple Watch reviews on Thursday. Usually they do something like that where the embargo's a few days on the way to the actual launch date on Friday. Gabber Jr., thank you for the super chat, says, do you think Ceramic Shield 2 is strong enough to go without a case or screen protector this year, or is it just marketing hype? I mean, that really comes down to you more than Apple. It comes down to how you use your phone and how hard you are on it. It's really anyone's guess. Sometimes they talk about how much more durable it is, and then we test them and they're barely different. So if you're hard on your phone, it's probably still going to need a case. Someone was asking, I guess, yeah, this is just a 16 Pro Max Taurus case. I don't know what the official name is, but it's just got the little kickstand on the back. It's been great. I use this all the time. This live stream is not sponsored, but they did sponsor. Shut up, Apple Watch. Okay, we got 4 minutes to go, people. Let's lock in. I'm locked in. I'm waking up. Here we go. We love that early energy. Okay. Air has the perfect screen size for real. Well, I haven't held it yet, so I'm curious. The bezels look pretty thin, so that might impact the form factor, and probably the whole dynamic of the phone feels kind of different just because it's going to be so thin. Although not particularly light, I noticed. It's not the lightest iPhone ever. They've packed a lot of crap in that thing. You can airdrop with a cable. I sent a 150 gig file through it in around a minute. Yeah, I keep forgetting that. I tried it, and I didn't feel like the speed was all that different. Maybe I need to try doing that more often. His kickstand is bent. Yeah, I like having a kickstand. I've gotten so used to it now that it's very hard to use a phone without it. But I will say on my trip, I've been pretty hard on my phone. Like, I have propped it up in the sand and got sand stuck in there and stuff. But my kickstand is not sitting perfectly flush anymore. So there's been some wear and tear on it. I mean, it still works. It's not at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's not it's not unusable. I can still twist it. It still locks in place, and it's handy, but it's noticeably like not sitting flush anymore. It probably just needs to be washed. I'm sure there's like some sand that's been caught in there, and maybe if I just gave it a good wash, it would probably start working again. But Michael Lazito says, no upgrade for me, still using a 12 Pro Max. Then why are you awake, Mike? But thank you for 4 years of support. Seriously, that's very generous of you. If I was not pre-ordering, I'd be in bed right now. I'd be going to sleep. You need a Thunderbolt Pro 5 cable with a 17 Pro Max. There you go. Brandon Bowie, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to get the 17 Pro Max in deep blue. However, I would have really loved to get it in black. No black option for the Pro models is rough. I still feel like there's a decent chance they will launch that in the spring, but I know a lot of people can't. They can't wait that long. James Sanders Cedarloff, hey, good to see you again. It's been a while. I'll live the 17 generation through you. Not planning on replacing my 16. That's a good call. Most people with the 16, I would say, should not upgrade. Abumi, thank you for the... Oh, he's just responding to James. He says, I bought the black tech woven case. Cool. I think black could be a real heat magnet, which would defeat the purpose. I don't know. Sometimes they can dissipate heat pretty well, even with the vapor chamber. But yeah, we're down to 1 minute, guys. Let's lock in. Let me start refreshing. Drudy, thank you for the super chat. Absolutely getting the air. It makes sense to how I use my iPhone 13 already. Cool. First iPhone pre-order day. Welcome, Jeff, with a G. Okay, guys, I'm sorry if I don't read the chat immediately. Holy crap, we got a lot of people in here. Welcome. I just checked the number for the first time. 1,400 people watching me in my car at 5 in the morning. This is weird. You guys have no life, just like me. Oh, boy. But it's fun. We're all being nerds together. People are saying the UK site is light. I'm refreshing right now, so I'm sorry if I don't read the chat. Once the store goes live, I'm going to just shut up and ignore you guys and start panicking and pre-order everything. What am I getting? Do I get the Air? Do I get the Pro Max? Do I get both? It's 5 a.m. officially. It's not live for me. Lucas, thank you for the super chat. Battery on my 14 Pro Max is at 85%, getting the 17 Pro Max. Wow. Everybody's spending a lot of money today. Holy cow. What's up? It's 2 p.m. in Austria. Wow, it's so nice for you guys. It's like the middle of the day. It's way too early for me. I'm starting work on Eastern time. Yeah, I started work 30 minutes ago. Get the Air, get both, get full Pro Max, Air and Pro. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be a lot to do. I gotta be ready. That message, yeah, the message changed for me as well. Now it says, excited, so are we. Please stay on this page until we can bring you for pre-order. I'm still refreshing. Come on. We're 1 minute past the hour. Stay on this page. Stay on target. Get the Air, get the Air. Feels like everybody's going to be fighting for the Pro Max, so maybe I should focus on that first. Which one do I order first? Get what you need. Well, I need nothing. I'll just go back to bed. You know what? I don't need one. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, it's ready. It's live. Pre-order your iPhone. Continue. Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. It just did Face ID. Oh, check-in window. Choose the time. Yep. That looks right. I think that's it. Oh, for crying out loud. Where's it wants stupid credit card info. Let me read out my credit card info to everybody. Okay. Good gravy. Where's my... Hold on. Ah! I'm panicking! I need Apple Pay. Where's Apple Pay? Okay, I hope that window is still there. Yes, it is. Okay. Not that credit card. Why is that not the default? Okay. I want my Apple card, please. Ba-ding! Okay, I got the Pro Max. Let's get the Air, quick. Oh, weird. Is this not available for pickup at that location? What? Oh, that's weird. Huh. Um, this is a problem. I can't get the Air in store? Why is it unavailable? Hold on. Um, I'm people are still waiting. Yikes. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to figure out why is anyone else people are still stuck on the pre-order stream. I wonder if it's because I pre-ordered with her. Staggered release. For some reason I cannot pick up the Air at the store itself. That's weird. Um, Maybe I should just ship it, I guess. Hmm. Um, hold on. I wish they would have. Okay. Let me find another store. Oh, that's way too late. Oh, the check-in times are already slipping. Crap. Dang it, I gotta change my default card. Alright. Payment failed? What? Check-in time no longer available. Oh, God. This is slipping fast. I do not think they have a lot of iPhone Airs in stock. Let's try it again. Failed? Oh, and it says unavailable at that location. No! Yikes. This is scary. Please sing a song. I can't right now. I'm panicking. I'm trying to get an iPhone Air and I can't. Maybe I shouldn't do in-store pickup. It's just not going to work. Um, this store claims to have it. Now it says unavailable. Dang it. Shoot. I'm panicking. Call your bank. No, it's Apple. It's not, the credit card isn't what's failing. It says that iPhone is not available at that location. Shoot. Well, now I gotta ship it. I think. I don't think I can pick it up in store. That's frustrating. Now I gotta wait around like an idiot. Um, I don't want to go to two different Apple stores either. That's annoying. Just like that, $2,000 done. Okay. I'm glad some people got it. The store only gets a certain amount of phones. Yeah, but I like tried to pre-order immediately and it just said straight up unavailable at this location. Um Crap. It still says it can deliver on the same day. So that's good. Um Yikes. I did not expect it to be this stressful. Here we go. Here we go. Why did it close? I was just done filling it out. Oh my god. It just closed on me. Okay, this app is bugging. This is not the time. I want the Air even more now that I know it's hard to get. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Let's try this again. Processing. Done. Okay, I've ordered an iPhone Air, but I can't pick it up in store for some reason. Um, Hold on, let me text someone back really quick. Um, that's weird. Okay, I think the Air is limited in supply, guys. Let me check for confirmation emails. People are saying all done here in the UK. So it took me 10 minutes. That took way too long. So I was able to get the 17 Pro Max in store pickup, so that's good. But the Air was not available for pickup anywhere, no matter which Apple store I picked, and you can only go to so many Apple stores. It wouldn't let me get one in store, so I had to ship it. So I'm just gonna have to wait on the Air, I guess. I got the base 17 Pro Max, so 256 gigs is fine, and I got the silver. So let me do the classic Apple Sheep screenshot. Just don't want to give away any personal info, but there you go. First in line. Ta-da! But boy, that Air was stressing the heck out of me. That was, whew. That I did not expect the Air to be that hard to get. It was weird. Usually every iPhone you can select at launch and just be like, yes, like pick it up in store. But this one was like unavailable, unavailable, and then it would say it's available and it wouldn't go through. No, the Pro Max 256 gigs is $1,200. I got the Air and I was able to set it for pickup. That's weird. I wonder why mine is not. Let's see. Sunny Patel says, I had the same problem for the three nearest Apple stores. Wow. Christian says he got the Air. Okay, this is why I'm glad we're live right now. I actually need to hear what other people are doing. Use the app. Yeah, I was using the app. But maybe it just sold out really fast? I don't know. All the Pros are shipping starting on the 25th because they were like that instantly. Really? Well, this is the other fun part of the pre-order stream is we can go in and see the shipping time slip. What color Air did I get? Just white because I think it's the cleanest. People are saying the app is bugged. Oh, great. Well, maybe when I'm in there in person, I can ask if I can get an Air. Because I'm not actually getting a confirmation email for the second pre-order. So that has me a little nervous. Does the app show it? Okay, my app is showing me that I have placed the order for the Air. And it says it will ship on launch. But I don't know. Maybe it's a bug. Let me try to... Let's see what happens if I try to order one again. And see if it's available for pickup. Okay. Cloud White, base storage. I'm not trading in. I'll pay in full. Unlocked. No Apple Care. See, now it's claiming it's available in store. Which is making me think I should. No, it's my local one still says not available. Weird. I don't know what happened. Cooper Gamer Dad, thank you for joining Tailosive Tech Plus. Very kind of you. You got 2 Airs for in-store pickup on the 19th in Southern California. Okay, so maybe it's just certain regions. I chose unlocked. Choose any carrier later. Yeah, that's what I did. I did unlocked. You should be first in line at Tim Cook's house to make sure you get the Air. Yeah, I'm sure he would appreciate that. My order has gone through at 12 to 13 minutes past the hour. I used the app. Website only said we'll be back. Whoa! Thank you for the very generous super chat from Baby Godzilla. He says, get that phone, boy. Well, I've got 2 ordered, but I was not able to get one for in-store pickup. It would say it was available, and then I would place the order, and then it would go away and say actually not available. So I'm kind of hesitant to do it again because it's going to be at a different Apple store. I don't want to have to drive to two different Apple stores on the same morning. That's going to be a nightmare. Um, I don't plan on keeping the phones, no. If they ever make a Pro version of the Air, I'm on it. The Pro Air. I always choose pickup in store too. That was my plan, but it didn't work. Um, you're not getting the regular 17. It looks amazing. It looks amazing, but I just feel like there's nothing to add from a review perspective. It's a great phone, but all of the hardware that's in it, I already have. So, Lucifer, thank you for the super chat. Upgraded 3 phones today and immediately had to wait for shipping for the 25th. Oh, that's a bummer. Dang it. Couldn't get it in person through Costco for the 17 Pro Max, so I have to do delivery next day. Oh, shoot. What's it going? I wonder if there was just limited availability in my region or if a bunch of people are all trying to pre-order simultaneously. Yikes. Man, the ship times are slipping, I think, for people quick. Let me see. If I do iPhone Air, what's it saying? My local store sold out of the base 17 instantly. Yikes. So I just ordered 2 iPhones for those who just joined. I ordered the white base storage Air. I keep wanting to say 17 Air. And I got the base storage white 17 Pro Max. So that's what I've got ordered. One I'm able to pick up in store. The other one I had to ship because it wouldn't let me. Let's see. iPhone Air, first one to sell out here in Belgium. Interesting. Let me try plugging in my specs again. Don't want to trade in. Yeah, it would not let me pick it up in store. This one still says it will ship on launch, which is interesting. At least for the cloud white. Maybe if I change the color, let's see if that adjusts it. Yeah, it's all still at launch. Light gold. I'm not seeing any slippage on my end, but it was definitely not letting me pick up in store, no matter which location I selected. See, that's the thing. Mine says it's available for pickup, but when I placed the order, it failed and said this iPhone is not available at that location. Which is why I kind of just gave up. I'm like, I'm gonna stop ordering because I don't want to. I honestly don't want to go to 2 different Apple stores on launch day. That sounds annoying, because they're not that close to each other. I didn't expect the base in blue to slip like that. Okay, let me check the base model. I haven't looked. Regular iPhone 17. I think this is a popular year, to be honest. I think there's just way more people buying than usual. I'm doing the base blue. It still says launch for me on the regular 17. How about white? No slipping. Oh, okay. The green, interesting. The green iPhone 17 is no longer available for pickup at the location I have selected. Let me change stores real quick. So this one still has the base 17. If I go to that store. Okay. When do previews come out today? No, usually next week. Usually around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays when you'll get the embargoed. Yeah, that was. I don't know if I'd say it was the worst pre-order experience ever, but that was certainly stressful. I thought it would just be like boom, boom, done. But I think there's way more people pre-ordering than usual. They need to bring back black or gunmetal. Well, the base 17 still comes in black. It's not space black or jet black or anything. It's just called black. But, whew. What's the chances we'll be able to see/get phones in store? You'll definitely be able to see them on display at launch, but get them on launch? I don't know. I have a feeling a lot of people are upgrading this year and a lot of people are pre-ordering simultaneously. Orange was gone fast. Oh, let me check on the pros. Based on the poll, it was feeling like, how many votes have we had? Oh, wow. We've had 2,300 people vote and 50% said Pro Max. So that's why I pre-ordered the Pro Max first, was because it felt like that one was the more high in demand. So I thought, oh, well, the Air's not too popular in the poll. I'll get the Air later. Mike is like, that was not fun. Alexander says, I had a tough time getting a time slot at my local Apple store. The Pro Max worked fine. Oh, wow, it has really slipped for me on the Cosmic Orange Pro Max. So if you order it now, it's only been 20 minutes. You won't get it till the end of September. It's already pushed to 29th or October, and it's unavailable for pickup at my local Apple store. Yikes. Okay, let's change to my color. What about silver? Oh, still delayed. September 24th, so a little bit sooner if you go silver. But it does say available for pickup at launch if you go silver, but I guess most people probably aren't. When you review the Air, can you do a speaker test? Oh, of course. That's one of the things I'm most curious about, actually. The AirPods Pro 3 were available to order since Tuesday, but yes, you can get those. I think they just have way more Pro Maxes. Well, not in Cosmic Orange, I guess. Oh, but Deep Blue is available at launch day for shipping and pickup, so that's nice. Everybody wanted Cosmic Orange, it looks like. Silver delayed shipping, but available at launch for... Oh, except 1 terabyte. Not available for pickup if you get 1 terabyte. That's interesting. Aaron Hewitt, thank you for the super chat. Can't buy the Air at all. Won't even complete the order. 16E also can't be traded. Not my year for pre-orders. Oh, no. They don't let you trade in the 16E? That's kind of weird. Well, you probably shouldn't. I bet they'd give you a crappy trade-in value anyway. Let's see. Reggie Wade says he's getting his Air in space black on launch day, so that's good. So interesting that people are pre-ordered and getting longer delivery estimates than brand new orders this morning. Yeah. That's weird. Rider Hope says, this was the easiest pre-order I've had. Last year it took me 15 minutes just to get in the app. Wow. What's the usefulness of pre-ordering? Well, it's basically how you get a slot in line, because Apple doesn't really let people exactly line up in the Apple Store, outside the Apple Store, before opening anymore. You have to have a scheduled time, and if you show up beforehand, they're kind of like, oh, well, you can't come in yet. So, yeah, they'll have them out on display, but there's a whole separate line if you don't have a pre-order. So when you guys go to the Apple Store on launch, they're going to ask you, do you have a pre-order? And if you don't, then you'll get in a different line where you have to wait much longer. But if you have a pre-order, you show them your QR code, and then they figure out what your selected time slot is. And if your time slot is much later, they're going to be like, sorry, you can't get your phone yet. But if your time slot is pretty close, I've been able to fudge it a little bit. So in the past, like, I had a pre-order for my time slot was like 10:30 a.m. and I show up at 8, and they're like, oh, your time slot's not till later. And I can say, well, yeah, but I've got work and I got to get going. And they might move you up if they're nice. They don't necessarily help you out, but I've noticed that they tend to move you along a lot quicker. Oh, have I tried a different color for the Air? That's a good question. I should try that. Let's try black. Let's see if that's available for pickup at my local store. I didn't think of that. Maybe it's too late. Oh, okay, that one is actually available for pickup. I wonder what the time slot is, though. Let's see. Select check-in. Ooh, it's pretty late in the day. It's kind of late, but it might be worth a shot. I guess I can cancel it if all else fails. It's not the color I want, but black is cool, I guess. Okay, let's try it. Maybe I can fudge it a little bit. Okay. I pre-ordered 3 iPhones now. But it says it's available at my local Apple Store on launch day. It's just a little bit later in the day, but I don't know. I think I messed up. I pre-ordered 2 iPhone Airs. That should probably work. I don't see why it wouldn't. Like, I can show them, okay, here's my game plan. I'm going to show them my pre-order time for the Pro Max, and it'll say 8 a.m. I got the, like, first delivery slot for the Pro Max. I'll go to the store and be like, hey, I'm picking up a Pro Max. I get in the store, I get my Pro Max, and then I go, if there's anything else I can help you out with, then I go, yeah, I have another iPhone I'm picking up too. Here's that QR code. Can I get it now? And they'll be like, no, but I'm like, well, you have it in the back. I know. So why don't you just give it to me now? I'm already in the store. Okay. I think I can sneak my way in. Maybe I should cancel the one that was being shipped. Does it let me? It doesn't even let me. Maybe we'll have 2 iPhone Airs. Guess white was a hot commodity. I would have chosen sky blue. Yeah, that's not a bad color. Drew's gonna have to explain, wifey, why there are 3 iPhones. You did what? Honey, I can explain. Let's see. Tell them that right away at the door. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say too much. I'm just gonna say I have a check-in for 8 a.m. That's all they need to know. And then once I'm in there and once I'm getting the Pro Max, then I can explain that I have a second iPhone to pick up from that location. And why don't you just give it to me now? Save yourself some time. I'm already in here. What's the point? Let's see. Why is it so dark outside where you are? Because it's 5:26 a.m. I actually don't live that far from Apple. I mean, it's a few hours, but bizarrely, this is the time they chose for pre-orders to go live. I think I want to cancel the iPhone that wants to be shipped now that I have a check-in time for both, but it doesn't give me the option to cancel. So I'll have a black one and a white phone. I worked at Apple for 8 years. Tell them before the first phone has been run out to the employee. Wait. Tell them before the first phone has been run out. Oh, so they can go back and get the phone. I see. I'll tell them. Your upload speed is so stable. Is it, though? I mean, it's dark. It looks so compressed. My order page says delivery on the 25th, but if I put a phone in my bag, it now says 19th. That's kind of confusing. I got black and white. I couldn't decide what color I wanted. I'll have to return one. That's what I did since I somehow missed the check-in time button the first time. I thought it makes you do a check-in time. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should I don't know. I'm looking for a cancel button. I don't really need 2 iPhone Airs. I don't need 1 iPhone Air. Maybe I can glue them together and they'll be a folding phone. That's a good plan. Let's stick with that. DCA says, I switched to Android when I saw iOS 26. Wow, didn't impress you, huh? Ordered a Galaxy S25 Ultra, and now I'm on a Pixel. Wow, so you're on a Pixel, but you still want to watch the pre-order streams. I think you're a little jealous, just a little bit. Last in line for iPhone Air. I got the silver Pro iPhone. Looks like Cosmic Orange was super high in demand. I just knew it was a little too vibrant for me. Aaron super chatted, says launch day Air has been obtained. Yes, for me as well. It's just, I hope I don't have to go back to the store later in the day. That would be annoying, but I'm pretty sure I can sweet talk them. So all the former and current Apple employees in the chat, remind me exactly what I should do, because keep in mind, I do have a check-in time for 8 a.m. Not 8:30, not 8:45. It's 8 a.m. to 8:15 for my Pro Max. So if I go in and show them that code and tell them also I'm picking up an iPhone Air, how do I phrase it so that I can get out of there early? I think you can cancel the shipped Air a few hours after pre-orders. Okay, I'll keep looking for the option. I might end up grabbing AirPods Pro 3. That might be a fun video. Now that I know the ANC is better, the audio quality is supposed to be better. I don't really care that much about the health sensors, but the better battery life is cool. I don't know if I'll upgrade. My AirPods Pro 2 are pretty nice. Orange is the new black. There you go. That's a headline they should have had on the configurator. Um, what if you miss the window? I won't miss the window. Say you have a doctor's appointment. Oh, that's a good answer. That'd be harder to argue with. Let them know when you get there you have to pick up for later, and they should allow you to pick up both. Yeah, okay. I've done that before, just to be clear. I did the exact same thing with the iPhone 10. The check-in window was like 11, and I got there at like 8, and it took a little longer. It wasn't like I was first in line, but I think they got it to me by like 8:30 or 9. So it was earlier than the appointment, but you got an appointment for the Pro. That's all that's needed. Just ask to get the Air as well from the back. Okay. The Drone Hobbyist super chatted, pre-ordered 17 Pro Max for September 25th. Cool. Money Capital says he got the Pro Max in orange. Congrats. I get the base storage. 256 gigs is plenty. That's what I have on my 16 Pro Max. And I record a lot of stuff, and I haven't filled this up that often. If I do, I just need to clear off some videos. But I'm good. Anyone have experience with early delivery from shipping on launch day? Oh, tell them I have jury duty. It's my civic duty for me to leave, so you have to give me the phone now. 17 Pro Max in orange for September 19th. Nice. Brinston says 17 Pro Max secured, haven't upgraded since the 14. Nice, you made it 3 years. Good job. Apple employees seeing this vid right now. Well, they don't know which Apple store I'm going to. That's the mystery. iPhone Air baby blue one. Congrats. Baby blue. Pro Max blue is going fast, huh? Which one should I buy? I don't care which one you buy. You should just make a decision quickly. I would probably say if you're on the fence, get the Pro Max because that one's more likely to age well. I have a feeling the Air is going to be great first impressions and long-term annoyances. Like, I think the iPhone Air will be more likely to overheat, and battery will degrade faster, and the novelty of the thinness will wear off. But Option Command Media, thank you for the super chat. The dang app said that the Silver Pro was out of stock everywhere. Had to restart. Pickup time was not till 1 p.m., but I have clout there. Sing a song. I have no idea why I ask you this each year. But, well, no one wants to hear me sing except you. But the Cosmic Orange is sold out. All our credit cards have turned yellow. The only thing that's worse is the Series 11 isn't that different. The only thing no one's pre-ordering is the Series 11. Whoa, what the heck? It says I can still get the 17 Pro in Cosmic Orange at launch. Is it the Pro Max that's hard to find? Let me switch it to the Pro Max. Oh, yeah. That one's October 6th now. The Pro Max Cosmic Orange is the high in demand one. White is great for thermals. Also, Drew, I got the black one. I don't know. I like the neutral colors. I figured, well, you can't get the Pro in black, so I might as well get the Air in black. Can you say my name? Corey? Yeah, I know Corey. Pro Max is long gone. How about the silver one? Yeah, silver is still available for pickup at launch. So that makes me feel good. They had plenty in stock of the one I wanted at the location I'm going to. Pre-order a fourth phone. Why not? Been using my 11 Pro Max since buying it used back in 2021. Can't wait to drive to Canada from Ohio to get my 2 terabyte silver Pro Max, and I'll use that for a whole decade. Wow. Talk about longevity. Color thermal issue going out the window once it's cased. That's true. Yeah, once you put a case on it, it throws everything off. But thank you for the super chat. I'd get annoyed with the orange, also the chipping of the coating. I don't know. I feel like the base iPhones have been colorful and haven't chipped all that much. The silver color is the only way for the 17 Pro to look clean. I don't know. I like the vibrant colors. I don't think those colors fit me. They look nice. I'm okay with the neutral ones for longevity's sake. I think it's better. But Robert has had a bad experience. He says, I'm so done with Verizon. I ordered my Pro Max and they canceled it. No! Oh my God. That's so frustrating, especially when you wake up early to do it and then they're like, oh, never mind. Somalia says, bad experience, couldn't get in for 15 minutes, and when I did, the Silver Pro wasn't available till mid-October. Had to settle for orange. Oh, yikes. That's interesting. So the orange was available, but not the silver. I would love to see what the supply amounts are. Wouldn't that be cool if Apple was like, here's a graph of, we have a bunch of cosmic orange of this size available, but not a lot of this size. So you could see exactly which one is more high in demand and or which one they built more of. I watched the keynote and went to my local AT&T and got a 16 Pro Max. Just not a fan of the new design or the colors. 16 Pro Max should serve me well until next year. I hope they gave you a good deal on it. Don't pay full price as the new phones are coming out. Not a fan of orange on phones. The dark blue is okay, though. I'm just a fan of the neutral white, black, so that's what I went with. Mobster super chatted, I find my 6.1 inch screen is hard to read sometimes, thinking of getting a bigger screen, Air or Pro Max. Well, technically the base 17 has a bigger screen, a little bit, but I don't know. Air might suit you well if you don't care too much about the ultra-wide lens, or if you don't need a substantially longer battery life. Yeah, it's time to go to sleep, I think. It's getting late, early. I don't know. It's been early. What's the phrasing? I am tired. Samsung's going back to aluminum now. I forgot they left aluminum. Dark blue is basically black. Yeah, it's not a very saturated blue, that's for sure. But it's kind of noticeable in the pictures and videos at least. 16 Pro Max was just way too big for the past year, so I got the 17 Pro. All right, fair enough. I think you could have gone regular 17, to be honest. How much do you really think you need that telephoto lens? How important is that telephoto? If you put a green case on the orange one, it'll look like Master Chief. Yeah, I sent that to Randy, and I was like, hey, you got to get this now. It's the Master Chief phone. Waiting for Dynamic Island to shrink or go away. I mean, it's a software thing now. I think even if they got rid of the cutout, it would still be in the software. Luca Fur super chatted, just changed phones to pick up, except Air was unavailable. Yeah, I could not get the silver Air for the life of me. Maybe they went all in on sky blue or something. 17 Pro Max product red would sell out fast. Oh yeah, I would be getting that one. That's the one color that I'd be willing to splurge on. Cosmic orange, it's cool, but probably not for me, or the deep blues, that kind of thing. I'm not really a blue iPhone guy, but red is my favorite color. I love product red. If they did have that one, that would have won me over. But Drew, I have to shill for Apple and give Tim more of my money than I should. I guess there is more RAM, that's true. The Pros get 12 gigs of RAM, which is 4 gigs more than 8, so maybe that's worth it to some people. I don't think you'll notice it in most daily usage, but paint wear on the aluminum will be worse than titanium. I don't know. I know a lot of people that got the aluminum iPhones, and they didn't really wear out that bad. And most people get a case anyway. I rip through battery every day. Always need the Pro Max. Well, it should be good because it's the longest battery life ever on an iPhone. So, do you think Apple should eSIM only? Oh, I just got the confirmation order for the new phone. So that's fun. Oh, this is the one that I can pick up. I need the cancel option to show up for the white Air because I don't need it to be shipped now. Let me see if that option has shown up. Order placed. No, it's still not letting me. Maybe they wait till later. Does the Air get more RAM? That's a good question. They didn't say. I guess we won't know until they actually ship them. I'm guessing no. That would be my prediction because it did get the A19 Pro chip, but I think it's a binned one because it has one fewer GPU core than the Pros. So my prediction would be that the Air gets 8 gigs of RAM and the Pro gets 12. It will be hours before the cancel shows up. Okay, thank you, Tesla Talk. You've probably done it before. That's why you're telling me. I don't think. Let me see if I can get AirPods Pro 3 at that same location on launch. I don't think I'm upgrading to them, but oh well, maybe I should order them. Yeah, it says I can pick them up at launch in store. Might as well just do it all in one trip. Shall I? Should I do it? Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Because it says if I ship it, it's going to be October. But if I pick it up in store, it's at launch. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's see how much crap I can... Let's see how much debt I can rack up today. Whoa, enter iPhone passcode for Apple Store. That's weird. I've never seen that before. Oh, I need a check-in window. For AirPods? Wow. That's kind of weird. It's a little later in the day, but I'm going to be in there. I might be hanging out in there a while. Okay. Oh, crap. Where's payment method? Oh, whoops. Not that card. What happened to Apple Pay? What the heck? Where's... Oh, it's right under here. Okay. Buy with Apple Pay. Got too many credit cards now. These employees are not going to like me. They're going to be like, so, I'm picking up a bunch of stuff, and it's at way different times. But that's okay, right? Who cares? Just let me get out of your hair. All right. Clink. Ba-king. All right, I ordered AirPods Pro 3. I've ordered 4 things this morning. Got 17 Pro Max, 1 terabyte in orange. Hey, good call. That sounds good. I hope you got it on launch. I feel like I will regret ordering the Air. Should I wait for the battery tests? You could wait, but by then it might be a longer wait if you actually want to get the Air. If you're on the fence, probably get a Pro. That's my advice, because the Pro is more likely to age very well with the thermal management and the battery. With the Air, I feel like that has a high likelihood of aging poorly, but that's just me. So many orders placed. Well, really only 3. I'm going to cancel one of them, but I'm curious if AirPods Pro 3 sound good. You got more credit cards? Well, not really. I have access to company cards, I should say. So I really do not want to buy my iPhone with my company's credit card. That would be a bad look. So I didn't do that, just to be clear. But I'm kind of scared to see what my Apple card looks like. Has it charged? I don't think it's charged them yet. No, it hasn't. But it's funny. So I paid off my credit card and then I returned the Pixel Fold, and so now I have a negative balance of like 1,200. So Apple owes me money. But once the iPhone charges go on there, it's gonna go way up. Order another. Why not? Let's just order another phone just for fun, just because we can. Where's your PayPal and Venmo so I can do my duty as a citizen and pay for your insurmountable debt? Oh boy. If you really want to. No, I think you're kidding. How are even cases backordered or delayed this year? I don't know. Are a bunch of people getting cases? Got the Air simply for the screen size, pro chip, and amazing design. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it feels in the hand too, because that's what everybody keeps telling me is like, oh, it feels amazing. Tax write-off? It's funny. Everybody thinks tax write-off means free. This is some weird business logic that people have come to the conclusion of. Oh, it's a write-off, so that means it's basically free. A write-off does not make it nothing. A write-off just means that you can reduce it from your taxable income. It doesn't make the purchase free. And a lot of people, bizarrely, I've talked to people who believe this. They think that if they write it off, it's basically free money. It's like, well, if I write off a $1,000 iPhone as a business expense, then that's $1,000 in taxes that I don't have to pay. And no, that is not true. It's just deducting your taxable income, but you are still spending $1,000. So even if you don't write off that $1,000, you're saving roughly 25% of that. So if you don't buy the phone and you don't have that write off, you're saving like $750 instead of $1,000. So the write off thing does not necessarily mean free. So for some reason I see a lot of people who think it is, which always makes me laugh. It's like, oh well, I'll write it off, and that way the government doesn't get my money. But you'll still need to have money to have a tax write off. Yeah, exactly. People are saying you can cancel now. Really? Let me see if the option popped up, because I don't want them shipping that. Oh, it moved around. Now it says order in progress. Oh, you're right. It's right there. Your item hasn't shipped yet. If you have been charged, it will refund your original payment method. I don't think I've been charged, have I? No, I haven't. All right, I'm gonna cancel the white one just because I don't want my credit card freaking out. All right, I canceled it. The Air white has been canceled. So there you go. Now I have, I don't think that gives away too much. I've got a black Air, a white Pro Max. They're both 256 gigs, and an AirPods Pro 3. $1,000. We were talking about iPhones, right? Same with EV tax credits. Well, EV tax credits are a whole different story because they are deduction from the price of the vehicle. So it's just at the point of sale, as you're picking up the car, they reduce $7,500 off the price. That's not really the same with iPhones, but another super chat. Thank you from Option Command Media. I put my college tuition on my credit card, so while the card was still pending, I paid and had $21,000 on the bill for a day or two. Many AA miles now. Well, if you pay it off, I don't think there's a downside to that. As long as you're paying it off and you're not carrying a balance, then yeah, rack up those miles. But holy cow, you got some nice tuition there. I got the Pro Max with 512 gig. My current 256 is a struggle managing storage. The only downside, and I say this as a guy with an 8 terabyte MacBook Pro, is that if you don't manage your storage, like if you don't move files off every now and again, or you don't delete duplicates or delete videos that are backed up, then you will eventually fill up the 512 gig, and then you'll say, well, I don't want to delete stuff or move stuff around, so now my next phone I got to get a terabyte, and then after that I fill that up, and then my next phone's going to be 2 terabytes, and then so it's just kind of an expensive approach to just keep getting more and more storage. So if you can get by with less, if possible, that will save you money, and that I think will be worth the time. But if you feel like, nope, I've deleted all the duplicates, this is all the kind of photos and videos I want to store locally, I guess that's the only way forward. But I was struggling to fit, my basic vacation pictures and my work videos that I use for Tailosive and my job at Tello. I was struggling to fit all of that on 128 gigs with my 15 Pro. So 256 gig was a nice compromise on the 16 that I got. But when will they actually charge you? I think if you pick up in person, I don't think they charge you until day of. They might charge you like the day before. I can't remember, but how did you cancel the order? It doesn't let me. So you just go into recent orders. It's in the For You page on the Apple Store. It says check the status of your recent order. So you just open it and then you tap the item right there, and then there should be a button that says cancel. Just got Pro Max 2 terabyte. If you didn't, y'all are broke. Oh, okay. I see how it is. It sounds like you're broke because you lost the most amount of money today. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Some people want 2 terabytes, and I think they're the kind of people that don't like managing their phone storage. I doubt anyone actually routinely needs. See, I feel like as a social media manager, I can even justify a lot of local storage because I need to store a lot of pictures and videos for work when I'm answering community questions on Reddit or on social media, and you're just sending pictures and videos as people are asking questions about a product. So I store a lot of stuff locally because I need to have access to those regularly. I don't know who needs to have 500 ProRes videos on their phone at any given time, and they can't move them off onto something else that's cheaper. ProRes video is 6 gigs a minute. I guess that is quite a bit. Oh, wow. Toma Holiman, thank you for the super chat. Tama, sorry, I don't know the pronunciation. I just ordered 2 iPhone 17 Pro Maxes, 1 terabyte in silver for me and my wife. Currently watching and enjoying your stream. Oh, thank you. Well, we can go back to bed if you guys want. I mean, we don't have to stay out this late, but I'm kind of sleepy. Just get a NAS or something. Well, a NAS is one approach, but yeah, there's cheaper ways to store and back up files and videos than just keeping them all on your phone. If anything, uh, just buying an external SSD that you plug into your Mac, and then you can move files from your Mac to the SSD or straight to the SSD if you plug it in, whatever, is a lot cheaper, and you can leave that SSD in a safer place. Like it can stay at your house, or you can stay at home, or some people I know keep it connected to the TV so they can pull up their videos on a big screen, because I don't think everybody wants to watch your vacation pictures and videos on your tiny iPhone screen. Even the Pro Max is pretty small. If you're trying to show off a vacation somewhere, honestly, it would probably make more sense to keep it stored to something that you can easily cast to the TV. And the downside is, with your phone being always with you, if you lose it, like if it falls out of your pocket on a bus or something, or it falls, you're taking a picture from a really pretty bridge and someone bumps into you and you drop your phone in the water, now you've lost all those locally stored files that you're not going to get back, I guess, unless you have cloud storage. But now you're paying a monthly membership for cloud storage, and for paying a big premium, several $100s more for local storage. So I just think there's a lot of advantages to storing more things on a separate device that you don't carry around with you all the time. But that's just me. Germ, thank you for 45 months of support. First year I'm buying the base. Stoked. Yeah, I think the base is a great buy this year. Good call. It's daylight here on the East Coast. Well, I'm on the West Coast. Shocker, I know. I'm on the coast Apple is on. Joe Ritter says shipping times in the EU are slipping super fast. Now for the Pro Max model I see in October, even the 2 terabyte. Well, I guess it's been a while since I've checked. Maybe I should check again. We all have our own personal preferences on the color. Yeah, since, let me end this poll. We had over 3,000 people vote, and it's pretty obvious. Nearly half of you got the Pro Max. Very few got the iPhone Air, even though I was having a hard time getting it. Yeah, Jordan, I got the Air. I actually got 2 Airs briefly, but I canceled one. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I should have just got a different color. Andy Blahad, very generous super chat. Thank you. I'm getting a new Apple Watch Series 10, 46mm rose gold, delivered today from Walmart. Oh, really? Did you get a good deal on it? I hope they had them on sale or something. Let's run another poll on color options. What color? I feel like... Thank you guys. You guys have been extremely generous with the super chats this morning. Thank you. If I end up keeping a phone, this will certainly help pay for it. Should I set a goal? No, let's not do that. That's stupid. I don't really need to upgrade. I keep entertaining it. And then I'm like, what's wrong with the 16 Pro Max, honestly? It's still a great phone. There's nothing really wrong with it. Okay, let's do the Pro colors, because that's what most of you got. I'll do a Cosmic Orange, Deep Blue, and Silver. Maybe one more option for... Nah, let's just keep it simple. Start. So like over half of you got a Pro, so I know I can only do 4 options on the poll, so for the people who didn't get the Pro, you don't have a color to vote for. But what color for base iPhone 17? Black, I guess, looks good. Do they have a silver? I assume they have a white. I would probably get the white one. It looks clean. Better for thermals. Louis the Swan says, I'm late. Yeah, you are. You missed a nightmare of a pre-order. That did not go too smoothly for me, at least. That was pretty stressful. I pre-ordered a 17 256 gig black coming from 12 Pro Max. Wow, that's a pretty big upgrade. 5 years. We'll keep old phone to keep all photos, 55,000 photos, and lots of videos, and I will start fresh on the new phone. Oh, cool. So you're not moving over the files. That's interesting. Wow, actually the colors are pretty even so far, with 200 people voting. Mostly Cosmic Orange. Cosmic Orange is at 40%. Andy Blaha's super chat was Cosmic Orange. That's nice of him. I got both because I couldn't decide on when I see them. I'll return the order blue and silver. Good call, Tyler. Quentin says easy to order in Australia. Well, probably because your population is way lower than here. So less competition, right? How did in the heck did they not make a Black Pro? I feel like it's got to be deliberate. I know they could have. They just must have actively been like, let's do something divisive and try to convince people to get the Air. Although I don't know anybody that straight up has said that. Do you know of anybody that's like, I would have got the Pro, but I want a black phone, so I got the Air? Did anyone really say that? I haven't seen that message. Y'all gonna regret not getting the Air. I know y'all's pinky gonna be stressing under that. I will say this, the Air, at least comparative to other phones, is not actually that light. It's very thin. It's the thinnest iPhone ever, but compared to mini iPhones and stuff, it's actually still got some weight to it. Dovanus, thank you for 33 months of support. It's been a while. How's you and Louise doing? We're doing great. We're doing great. There's a lot of life stuff going on outside of the tech world, but it's all good stuff. It's all good things. We're doing well. Thanks for asking. What do you think the Air sound quality is going to be like? If I were to guess, my prediction is the Air will sound okay in portrait mode and terrible in landscape mode. But the reason I'm kind of coming around on the Air is because I'm starting to realize how often I actually don't watch YouTube in landscape on my phone. I have YouTube Premium, so I watch things in picture, and usually when I'm watching YouTube, the videos are minimized and then I'm doing something else, like I'm in email or I'm texting or I'm scrolling on social media. There's actually a fairly few number of times that I'm listening to the external speakers and the phone is in landscape. I did use my phone in landscape to watch videos when I was on a flight because I was visiting Europe recently, and you don't have internet on the plane, but I have downloaded YouTube videos, so I would just set my phone and prop it up with my kickstand in landscape. But then I'm realizing, well, I'm not using the speakers because I'm in public. But when I have internet, I tend to be keeping up on my social media channels to make sure I'm not missing anything and to answer community questions for my job. So I'm wondering if there's a decent number of people that might actually be okay with the single earpiece speaker on the Air. I know a lot of people who won't. There's certainly been some times where I watch videos in landscape with the external speakers, but I'm trying to think of the last time I did it, and I can't. It's like, yeah, I've done it at some point, but it wasn't recently, honestly. See, that's the funny thing. The 17 Pro Max is the thickest and largest the iPhone has ever been, but it is not the heaviest. Thankfully, because of the switch to aluminum and the fact that they reduced the amount of glass on the back, the Pro Maxes were much heavier in the 13 and 14 days. So if you've had a 13 and 14 Pro Max, that's heavier than the 17 Pro Max, despite being a smaller phone. So if you're worried about weight, technically, it's not the heaviest it's ever been. But if you pick up a 13 or 14 Pro Max now, you'll probably notice how heavy it's gotten compared to the titanium iPhones are quite a bit lighter. But I don't think it's lighter than the titanium iPhones, but it's somewhere in the middle. The speaker thing is a big deal breaker for the Air, yeah. For a lot of people, I could see that being annoying. There was an interesting suggestion I saw. Mobster super chatted. Thank you. He said, "Why is the Pro Max popular? Is the Pro screen too small?" I guess. I don't know exactly. My guess is a lot of people want the biggest screen possible and the best battery life possible, and the Pro Max has a history of. Yeah, it might just come down to the screen because I remember the Plus iPhones had the longest battery life for a while. Those are gone now, but they don't have the longest anymore. But for a while there, like the 14 Plus, I think, and the 15 Plus, they were advertising them as like the longest battery life ever in an iPhone. And they didn't sell all that well. So maybe it has something to do with the battery life, but I think mostly a lot of people just want biggest screen they can get. So I don't think it's purely the battery, but it's probably a combination of a lot of heavy iPhone users that are just like, hey, I kind of live on my phone. I do work stuff on my phone. I use my phone for entertainment. I use my phone for pleasure. I use it for everything. Um, so I can afford to spend $1,200, $1,500 on my phone every year. So I just want the best version I can possibly get. I don't care how big it is. I don't care what it costs. I don't care how heavy it is. I just want the best of the best phone. I think that's a lot of people, especially in the tech community. I think that's why the Pro Maxes sell so well. It's just because iPhone, despite its flaws and despite how much we may complain about certain aspects of it, arguably the most successful product of all time. Just the sheer volume of the sales worldwide, how many people buy them and use them and keep using them, and the frequency at which people use them. Yeah, people, they want the iPhone to the max, which is probably why the iPhone Air is not going to sell all that well this year. Thank you for joining Tailosive Tech Pro, Andy Blaha. That's very generous of you. Very kind of you. That's what will be interesting about the folding phone next year, because the Air is kind of a hard sell given the price and the lacking of camera features and battery concerns and all that. But the folding phone will be the new biggest screen you can possibly get. And I guess the camera will be slightly compromised. I wish they wouldn't do that. But I guess the rumor, at least, is that the folding phone will have no telephoto lens and Touch ID. So I guess there are still some compromises that will probably influence people to get the Pro Max, but it will be interesting to see if more people start speccing for that over the Pro Max, because it technically can do a few things better. But yeah, the folding phone will probably be $2,000 at the base model. But hopefully they up the storage to compensate, so it's like 512 gigs only or more. iPhone Air is selling well, at least in my area. No storage tier, no colors available for pickup or delivery. Well, it is the new one on the block, so the launch day slipping is not a good indicator, in my opinion, of how well it will sell in the long run. We don't know how many of those Airs are going to be returned. There could be a big negative news story surrounding them if they start overheating or something. Let me plug one in for me. Sky Blue, 256 gigs. Unlocked. Mine is still available at launch for shipping and pickup. For Sky Blue, at least. Let me try Cloud White. That was the original one I wanted. Yeah, that just is still unavailable. Weird. They just don't have a lot of the white ones. Light gold is available. Black is available. I think I just got unlucky with my color choice. I just should not have tried to get the silver one. I'd be curious how you guys feel about this. Okay, the poll is pretty much leveled out. Cosmic orange 40%, deep blue 34%, silver 26%. I seem to have a track record of always getting the least popular color. I had to say how many Apple has in stock. That's true. They probably have some of one color more in stock than another. That's very possible. I might want to run another poll, but I need to describe it for you. Some people were describing this. What if, to help save on space, but to still keep the iPhone Air interesting, they keep the stereo speakers? Okay, so what if the iPhone Air still had speakers on the bottom, but they removed the charge port? So the iPhone Air became MagSafe and wireless charging only, and there's no Type-C port. But you gain the stereo speakers back. I've seen that idea floated around, and it is technically possible because, unfortunately, despite me begging them not to ask the EU this, one of the spokespeople for the European Union did say that a portless iPhone would technically comply, because they could argue that a Type-C port wouldn't fit, which I thought it wouldn't comply, but then the EU just went out and encouraged it. Dylan says he would be fine with that. Case for Britain. Hey, says I almost never use the port anyway. Interesting. Apparently some guy from the European Union said that they would be okay. Xavier says, I exclusively charge with MagSafe, but I would prefer a port. Interesting. So let me run the poll. Let's see. What's more important? Apple postponed Air launch in China, per Bloomberg. Wow. Probably because of the eSIM thing, right? What's more important in your in the iPhone Air. Well, how do I phrase this? What should Apple include in the iPhone Air? So just vote for what you would rather have on the phone. USB-C port or stereo speakers. I'm curious what you guys think of this. Wait, my iPhone 16 has a port? Yeah. Okay, let's run that. I'm curious how you guys will vote. I only use the physical charging port. MagSafe is slow. Well, I think it goes 20 watts, which is about the same as the physical port. Wouldn't a Type-C fit inside the Apple Watch, though? Yeah, watches were not included on the list of devices that had to comply with the USB-C mandate. Keyboards, those were included. Mice were included, like USB drives and cameras and laptops and tablets and phones. Those were all included, but not watches. Headphones, I think AirPods were okay because of the charge case, so that worked. Oh, MagSafe goes up to 25 watts now? Okay. Democracy. Oh, wow. How many people have voted? We're at 50-50. Wow. At 160 votes. 50-50. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, I didn't expect you guys to be this split. No, the Air does have USB-C now, but a lot of people have been saying that the one speaker on the Air is a deal breaker. Like, I can't go with an Air if it only has one speaker on the top. So I saw people pitching online, what if we got rid of the USB-C port, but we still had stereo speakers? You can't really do anything about the one stereo speaker situation, but the charging capabilities are way more. Well, I guess people would argue the alternative is you use AirPods. Just use your headphones more regularly. I've seen a lot of people say, I don't care that the Air only has one speaker because I'm tired of people in public who watch videos and play music out their phone speakers and everybody can hear it and it's annoying. Over 200 votes and it's pretty neck and neck. Ordered the Air and Pro Max, couldn't choose for the first time, will return within 14 days, the one I don't keep. Okay, fair enough. This is closer than the US elections. Ugh, don't remind me. Gonna sleep a bit more. Thanks, me, for always making this day slightly more enjoyable. You're welcome, Sam. Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Apparently, MagSafe goes up to 25 watts, but somehow iPhone now goes up to 40 watts, but it's still faster than charging brick most people are using. That's true. Most people aren't going to use a 40-watt brick. That's a good point. Unless they have a MacBook charger, but most of those MacBook chargers are coming with MagSafe now, which is kind of annoying. What if the one speaker has great sound quality? I don't think it matters how good the sound quality is. For one, it's probably not going to be very good because it's such a thin, narrow slit at the top, whereas the stereo speakers, you'll notice, you can experiment with this on your own. Guys, if you're watching this on your phone with your external speakers, don't wake anybody up at your houses if you're disturbing people. You can take your finger and just cover the bottom speaker on your phone, and you basically won't hear anything come out the bottom. And on pretty much every iPhone, the bottom speaker is the way clearer one. It's the way louder one. The speaker on the top is supplemental. It kind of makes the audio sound a bit more evenly full when you're in landscape mode, but it is definitely the weaker speaker of the two. So maybe they've beefed up the sound quality on the Air because they know it's the only one, but because it's in such a tight, constrained place, it should be harder to get the sound quality to be as good as the bottom speaker. But if you just cover the bottom speaker on your current phone, you'll get an idea what it might sound like. And when you're in landscape, I think it's way more noticeable that all the sound is coming from one side. But a lot of people are watching more content these days with TikTok and shorts and reels in vertical, and I don't think it will be as noticeable because the speaker is still pointed towards you, so you'll still hear what you need to hear. I think the lack of stereo will be far more noticeable in landscape, but I just think landscape's not as popular as it used to be. You secured 17 Pro Max Cosmic Orange from Verizon for release day. Okay, good. Glad to hear that. Some people had very negative Verizon stories. Oh my God. Wow. We're almost at 300 votes, and it's still like 50-50. That's incredible. I didn't realize people were that neck and neck. You can also set your phone to use only one of its speakers already to hear for yourself. Oh, I didn't know that. Is that in accessibility settings? It's not an exact good comparison because there is a decent chance that they've beefed up the speaker on the iPhone Air because they know there's only one. There are more people listening to music exclusively on AirPods than those who only charge wireless. Yeah, there's an argument to be made there. I saw that suggested somewhere. I can't remember who it was, but someone was like, I would have rather they ditch the port and include stereo speakers. And as soon as I read that, I was like, for the Air, as long as the Pro still has USB-C, I feel like that might be a decent compromise. I've always been against portless. I thought portless was stupid, but I feel like this might be a good solution to pleasing both. Is like, well, if you're the kind of person that cares about how thin the phone is and you care about how futuristic it feels and how lightweight it is, the iPhone Air is probably a good purchase. But if you would rather have a high-speed port and you want it to be more of a tool, less of a toy, then buy the Pro. That way, there's something for everybody. I think they might find a good happy medium there. I don't know. It's not a very good port anyway. The Type-C port they put on the iPhone Air is USB 2, which is kind of rough for a $1,000 phone. But a lot of people never use the data transfer speeds on their iPhone anyway. So, and I'm one of them, honestly. I have a Pro iPhone and I almost never take advantage of that higher speed Type-C port. What if they get rid of the speakers and USB-C, calling it the Super Slim? I think you need at least an earpiece for phone calls and stuff. Some external speakers I think are a good idea. I'm not in favor of getting rid of them entirely. China requires a physical SIM, really? They're such an advanced country. They have such advanced technology there. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't gotten along with eSIM. I like having a physical SIM, don't get me wrong, but now that they've finally actually started giving better battery life to phones that do eSIM, I guess I'm more interested in it. Option Command Media says T-Mobile iPhone 10 pre-order was hell. I was up till 3, wasn't let in for ages. Accidentally ordered 3. Surprisingly, my mom was not angry. Oh, geez. That's rough. Yikes. Thank you for the super chat. Did Apple postpone the Air in China? What's that about? I guess so. I haven't checked the news, but apparently someone said Bloomberg reported that iPhone Air is not available in China, but YouTube is also not available in China, so I don't there's a lot of things different there, but any rumors iPhone Fold battery size? I'm guessing not massive, because if it folds in half, it has to be a pretty thin, so maybe double the amount of the Air. It's just like 2 iPhone Airs sewn together, basically. But there's 2 screens to power now, so that might increase battery consumption. I don't know. I don't think it's rumored to be like an amazing battery life. Probably won't beat the Pro Max. Jared Jackson says, I am not available in China. I don't know if I'm just tired and sleepy and that's why everything is funny to me, or I'm just entertained by you guys. That's why I love doing these live streams. They're so fun because you guys always make me laugh. Still confused how I was checked out by 5:01 a.m. and got a delivery estimate of September 25th. Order on launch every year, and this never happened to me before. Cosmic Orange curse? That's a bummer. Yeah, I wonder why they would slip like that. What is Lacruz is asking? Are the tech woven cases worth it? Oh, Mike says my wife loves hers. Mike's wife has a fine woven case. Don't ask me why I know why Mike's wife has a fine woven case. She does not have tech woven. No one has tech woven yet because that's the new material that came out. But first impressions sounded good. Everyone basically said tech woven ages better and is more durable than fine woven. But Mike's wife is saying fine woven is good. So, but yeah, apparently it's different. Funny enough, they made new MagSafe wallet MagSafe wallets that are fine woven, but the cases are tech woven. So 2 different materials there. And bizarrely, tech woven is only for the pros. They don't have cases for the regular iPhones. X1 says, I've ordered every iPhone on pre-order morning within 10 minutes, and it always gives me a date after launch day. However, every iPhone arrived on launch day despite estimates. Okay, well, that's good. I miss the leather cases. Wish they would bring those back. Will 11 Pro Max be safe to use until 2027, 2028? And as iOS 26 will be the last major update but it'll get security updates. Will it be less secure? Nah, they say that, but there's very rarely vulnerabilities in iOS in the first place. Oh, Zolotech checked out TechWoven, I guess. So go watch his review impressions. Josh Miller says people have to be literally throwing their iPhone cases into meat grinders or something. I have 2 fine woven cases and neither of them age badly at all. Well, that's good. Okay. I'm glad to hear that. So we have almost 400 votes, and it seems like most people are voting stereo speakers. That's fascinating. Maybe we'll have to do a video on that later. iPhone Air should have ditched the port in favor of stereo speakers, I think. That's what the poll is telling me. Maybe the average everyday consumers would feel differently, but it's a super thin iPhone, so you could probably get away with telling them, oh, you need MagSafe or something. Some people are saying everyone got September 25th delivery date. When I briefly had an iPhone Air on order to ship directly to me, it was available at launch date for delivery. I've since canceled it, so it's not there now, but K Hardy hopping in late says, what phones did I order? So I got a black iPhone Air 256 gig and a silver 17 Pro Max 256 gig. Both on launch day, both picking up in store. So I will unbox them as quickly as I can. Oh yeah, the silicone cases degrade almost instantly. I had silicone cases that I bought, and within like 3 months, they were already falling apart. The silicone cases suck. I'm never buying those again. Tim will not be in New York City for the first iPhone launch in a while. Really? Why? He's going to Detroit? I want the Air in black, but the one speaker, and I don't need all the Pro Max offers, and it doesn't come in black. Sounds like, based on your Legend Town Legend, or Tom and Legend, based on that message, I feel like you could get by with the Air, personally, if you really like black. I think the one speaker might be an adjustment, but I think you could get used to it, honestly. How do you cancel? I can't find the button. In the Apple Store app, you should go to View Recent Orders, then tap on your order. That's what I did. There's a Nintendo Direct. Oh, boy. The silicone went to bleep with the 15 series. All the previous gens were a lot better, but the 15 ones started cracking and falling apart in weeks. Really? Okay. See, I haven't bought a silicone case since I think my last one was the 10S. I got a 10S Max case, and it was no good. But apparently people are saying they got even worse. I swear, I say which iPhones I get, and then like 2 minutes later, people will ask the exact same question. Okay, this is the last time, because I got to sign off here in a couple minutes. I'm about to fall asleep on stream, and that's probably not a good idea. Okay, for the last time, I got a black iPhone Air 256 gig and a silver 256 17 Pro Max. I got them both on launch. I'm picking up in store. So stay tuned for that. I will unbox them and upload a video of it as quickly as I can. Likely announcing Super Mario Galaxy movie. Oh, wow. I can't wait for Chris Pratt again. Okay. Sorry to make you... I'm not trying to offend people. I'm just saying I can't repeat myself nonstop. Apple's clear case is half white. I know, I hate the clear cases. I don't understand why they did that. Based on Zolotech's video, the tech-woven cases look much better than fine-woven. Okay, that's good. Oh, yeah, you can see the sun is rising. You can see the trees behind me. That's funny. You can tell where I am. Clear cases turn yellow like glass always breaks. This is not a sponsor, and I don't even really like the company that much, but I believe D-Brand has clear cases that they claim never go yellow. They just like last forever. The sun is coming out tomorrow. Do you know when the influencer embargo ends? Can't wait. I don't know exactly, but there's a high likelihood that you will get like AirPods review on Monday, Apple Watch review Tuesday, and then iPhone review Wednesday. Something like that. That's how they do it in the past. Go to sleep. Regards to Luis. Thank you. Drew, now go drive into the California mountains and go on a 9-mile hike. Ooh, that sounds fun. I've been craving like a big, long hike recently, but I've been too busy. There's too much going on. Actually have a doctor's appointment this morning, so I don't know how much more sleep I'll get, but I'll be back. Back for more later. Lots of more video ideas I have in mind. I've been very positive towards Apple in the last few videos, but I've actually learned some things about the Apple Watch Series 11 that make it much worse than I originally thought. So I'm actually going to be doing a spoiler alert. I guess you guys are in the stream, so you get to find out what's coming later. Drew legitimately does have a doctor appointment. How do you know that, Sonny? Anyway, I'm going to be doing a rant on the Series 11. It's actually a worse upgrade than I thought, and they've been doing some shady things with the marketing. Anyway, thank you all for your super chats and for joining me during this very stressful pre-order stream. I appreciate all your guys' support. Even just watching the live stream makes a huge impact, so thank you. And I hope everybody's able to get their phones as soon as possible, and I hope you enjoy them. I hope you don't regret anything. And if you do, feel free to return. Apple's a $1 trillion company. They can afford to take the phone back and give you your money back. Don't worry about it. So thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. This is your Apple Sleep here. I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day, all. Happy Friday. Bye-bye.